All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines: Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers today. Home Ministry operationalizes National Helpline for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad emphasizes government is not in favor of banning any digital social platform, but they have to follow the law. Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari says government aims to reduce road accident deaths by 50% by 2024. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan assures Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. Reserve Bank of India reiterates vaccination will shape the economic recovery of the country. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 95.93%. Over 26.86 crore COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. US Supreme Court rejects challenge by Republican-led states of former President Barack Obama's healthcare overhaul. In the Copa America 2021 soccer, Brazil thrash Peru 4-0. And in cricket, India go with 5 bowlers in playing 11 against New Zealand in the inaugural World Test Championship final against New Zealand at Southampton today. As many states are relaxing lockdown norms, we advise our listeners not to lower their guard as the COVID-19 pandemic remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing. Focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers today. The program that aims to skill and upskill over 1 lakh COVID warriors across the country will commence in 111 training centers spread over 26 states. A report.
The training will be imparted to COVID warriors in 6 customized job roles. These are home care support, basic care support, advanced care support, emergency care support, sample collection support and medical equipment support. The program has been designed as a special program under the central component of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 with total financial outlay of 276 crore rupees. The program will create skilled non-medical health workers to fill the present and future needs of manpower in the health sector. Suparna Sekhya, AIR News, Delhi.
Home Ministry has operationalized the National Helpline 155260 and reporting platform for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. The National Helpline and reporting platform provides a mechanism for persons cheated in cyber frauds to report such cases to prevent loss of their hard-earned money. The helpline was soft-launched on 1st of April this year. The helpline and its reporting platform has been made operational by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Centre 14C under the Ministry of Home Affairs with active support and cooperation from the Reserve Bank of India RBI, all major banks, payment banks, wallets and online merchants. Since its soft launch in a short span of 2 months, Helpline 155260 has been able to save more than 1.85 crore rupees of defrauded money from reaching the hands of fraudsters, with Delhi and Rajasthan saving 58 lakh rupees and 53 lakh rupees.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. Chairing a high-level meet yesterday with corporates to discuss voluntary crowdfunding for treatment of patients suffering from rare diseases, Dr. Harshvardhan said TB will be eliminated in the same expeditious manner as polio.
जिस प्रकार से भारत ने चेचक और पोलियो जैसी बीमारी को जड़ से समाप्त किया, उसी प्रकार से हम दुनिया के 2030 के लक्ष्य से 5 साल पहले अपने प्रधानमंत्री के आह्वान पर 2025 तक पूरे देश से टीबी जैसी बीमारी को भी हम एलिमिनेट करना चाहते हैं।
Dr. Harshvardhan also enumerated the different steps taken by the government in facilitating creation of an environment which promotes research and development of diagnostic and therapeutic interventions for rare diseases within the country. He also mentioned about the National Digital Portal for crowdfunding created by Health Ministry that will enable donors from various sections of the society to take care of patients suffering from rare diseases. Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad emphasized that government is not in favor of banning any platform at the same time. They have to follow the law. He said if half of the government is on Twitter, including Prime Minister and President, it shows how fair the government is. He recalled that when Capitol Hill in Washington was raided, Twitter blocked the accounts of all, including the then President of USA.
These guidelines don't deal with the use of social media. They deal with the abuse and misuse of social media so that people can complain about their misuse when they are being defamed, when women's dignity is being compromised and all this. Others have followed, they have not followed. There is a proper rule, Rule 7 of the guideline, which says if you don't comply with the guideline, then the consequences under Section 79, you may lose your intermediary status.
The minister questioned during farmer strike and when Bradford was raided by terrorist supporters showing swords, injuring policemen and pushing them in ditch, was it freedom of expression? Mr. Prasad said if Capitol Hill is US's pride, Bradford is India's pride, where the Prime Minister hoists the tricolour. He also criticized Twitter for showing parts of Ladakh as China's territory, which took a fortnight to pursue and to remove it. The minister said, as a democracy, India is equally entitled to safeguard its digital sovereignty. On Ghaziabad incident, he said it is for police to investigate. Mr. Prasad, however, questioned that if Twitter has a norm of declaring particular tweet as manipulative, then why was it not applied in the Ghaziabad case? The minister further said, media questions ministers and that is freedom of speech and democracy, but under garb of these, if they won't comply with rules, it is misplaced argument.
Ministry for Road Transport and Highways, Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari yesterday said government's target is to reduce road accident deaths by 50% by 2024. Addressing a virtual session on role of corporates in arresting road fatalities organized by FICCI, Mr. Gadkari congratulated FICCI on the announcement of Road Safety Consortium, SAFAR, and release of a white paper on road safety for the corporate world. The minister emphasized the need for identification of black spots in every state, district and city. He said that the World Bank and ADB have already sanctioned a scheme by which the government is allocating 14,000 crore rupees for states, NHAI and other stakeholders to remove black spots. The Reserve Bank of India reiterated that vaccination will shape the economic recovery of the country. The economy has the resilience and the fundamentals to bounce back from the pandemic and unshackle itself from pre-existing cyclical and structural hindrances, it noticed. In a State of Economy article, the bank has reiterated that there is a need to ensure the recovery is built on solid foundation of business investment and productivity growth. Life and work style transformation such as increased remote work and online shopping is likely to endure. RBI has predicted that digital technology, biomedical science and technologies that address various challenges to sustainability, especially those pertaining to climate change, will have the greatest growth potential in the coming decade. RBI has estimated that the second wave of corona pandemic may cause a consolidated loss of about 2 lakh crore rupees in financial year 2021-22. Moreover, this wave has fanned into smaller cities and villages, sapping rural demand. RBI has said that the support from government spending may also moderate from the extraordinary expansion undertaken last year. On the brighter side, several aspects of aggregate supply conditions such as agriculture and contactless services are holding up amidst pandemic protocols. Industrial production and exports have surged on strong base effects, but there is also evidence of positive momentum.
Maharashtra government has decided to file a review petition in the Supreme Court on the Maratha reservation issue. State Minister and Chairman of Subcommittee on Maratha reservation issue Ashok Chavan informed it yesterday. Maratha leader and MP Chhatrapati Sambharaje had a meeting with Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. Various pending demands of the Maratha community were presented by him, and the CM assured early resolution on all these demands. 10 days ago, Mr. Thackeray also raised this issue in the meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The central government has already filed a review petition before the Supreme Court, challenging its interpretation of the 102nd constitutional amendment in the Maratha reservation judgment. The SC on May 5th had struck down the Maharashtra State Reservation for Socially and Educationally Backward Classes SEBC Act 2018. The Maharashtra government had extended reservation to the Maratha community in public education and employment under this act.
BJP National General Secretary Arun Singh, in charge of Karnataka, has ruled out any change in the leadership in the state. He was speaking to media persons in Bengaluru yesterday after meeting over 40 legislators individually on the second day of his three-day visit to the state. He ruled out any talks with legislators on the leadership issue. Commenting on statements made by some disgruntled legislators, he said that statements against the Chief Minister are tarnishing the image of the party. On initiating disciplinary action against them, Arun Singh said that State Party President Nalin Kumar-Katil and office bearers are keeping a watch and collecting relevant information on their activities. He appreciated the efforts of ministers and party workers to contain the pandemic in the state. Indian Coast Guard rescued all 16 crew of sinking MV Mangalam near Revadanda port of Maharashtra yesterday. The Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre Mumbai had received information from MV Mangalam that the vessel was partially sinking with 16 crew on board around 3 kilometers from Revadanda port. The MRCC team initiated a rescue operation with ICG ship Subhadra Kumari Chauhan pressed into action. 2 ICG Chetak helicopters were also deployed from Indian Coast Guard Air Station Daman. Braving gusting monsoon winds, the Coast Guard carried out a swift sea-air coordination operation and saved 16 lives. The rescued crew was taken to Revadanda and administered first aid. All crew are safe and healthy.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers today. Home Ministry operationalizes National Helpline for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad emphasizes government is not in favor of banning any digital social platform, but they have to follow the law. Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari says government aims to reduce road accident deaths by 50% by 2024. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan assures Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. Reserve Bank of India reiterates vaccination will shape the economic recovery of the country. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 95.93%. Over 26.86 crore COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. U.S. Supreme Court rejects challenge by Republican-led states of former President Barack Obama's healthcare overhaul. In the Copa America 2021 soccer, Brazil thrash Peru 4-0. And in cricket, India go with 5 bowlers in playing 11 against New Zealand in the inaugural World Test Championship final against New Zealand at Southampton today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 1443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
India continues to register significant decline in active caseloads and fresh cases of COVID-19. With this, the COVID recovery rate has further improved to 95.93% in the country. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry said the active caseload presently consists of 2.78% of the cumulative positive cases, and it is continuously declining. It said the country has registered a decline of over 38,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. At present, there are over 8,26,000 active cases in the country. This is the lowest caseload after 71 days. The country is also witnessing a declining trend in the weekly and daily positivity rate. India's weekly positivity rate currently stands at 3.99% and daily positivity rate is at 3.48%. This is the 10th consecutive day when the country has reported a daily positivity rate below 5%. India's daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 103,000 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within 24 hours. Over 2,84 lakh patients have already recovered from this infectious disease so far. The country has registered a total of 67,208 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry has said a total of 2,330 deaths have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the toll to over 3,81,000 across the country. Meanwhile, testing capacities have been ramped up in the country for the early detection of coronavirus. Indian Council of Medical Research has informed that 19,31,000 COVID tests were conducted yesterday. So far, over 38,52,00,000 tests have been conducted in the country.
On the 153rd day of world's largest COVID vaccination drive, the cumulative vaccine doses administered in the country reached more than 26.86 crore. Cumulatively, more than 4,93,56,000 people across 37 states and UTs have received their first dose in the age group of 18 to 44 years. A total of 10,58,514 have received their second dose since the start of Phase 3 of the vaccination drive. A total 29,64,596 vaccine doses were given. Of these, over 25,81,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated for first dose and around 3,83,000 beneficiaries received the second dose of the vaccine. Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has dedicated a 13,000-litre capacity tank to store liquid oxygen at SGVP Holistic Hospital in Ahmedabad yesterday. Speaking on this occasion, he lauded the participation of voluntary and religious organizations like SGVP in the government's efforts to combat COVID-19 pandemic. He said that Gujarat has firmly dealt with first and second waves of the coronavirus and prepared an action plan to minimize the impact of the likely third wave. Meanwhile, Gujarat has recorded 293 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. We have more from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
According to the State Health Department, 770 patients recovered during the last 24 hours and were discharged from the various hospitals. Total 8,03,892 patients have been recovered from COVID-19 in Gujarat till now. The recovery rate further improved and reached up to 97.84%. Maximum 48 new cases of COVID-19 reported from Surat. 6 patients lost their lives yesterday. Gujarat has now 7,749 active cases at present, out of which 203 patients are on ventilators. Meanwhile, 2,52,543 persons have been vaccinated in the state yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Uttar Pradesh government will launch a campaign to vaccinate newly elected village pradhans. This initiative is to inspire others so that maximum number of people in rural areas can come forward for vaccination. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
A meeting of a state steering committee for immunization for COVID was held yesterday in Lucknow. The meeting discussed the ways to expedite the vaccination drive. It was decided that awareness campaign will be launched for this purpose in rural areas of a state. Newly elected village pradhans will be vaccinated on priority whose number is more than 58,000. Later on, they will take part in the meetings organized in rural areas to promote the vaccination so that they can become inspiration for others and motivate at least the residents of their own village. The state government has inoculated more than 2.42 lakh beneficiaries in the state. Special camps for women, parents having children less than age of 12, street vendors, media, workers from judiciary, e-rickshaw pullers and drivers are being organized in the state. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Tamil Nadu, the total number of fresh COVID cases has decreased below 10,000. In the last 24 hours, 9,118 people tested positive for the pandemic. Over 22,000 patients recovered after treatment. A total of 210 deaths were reported. More than 1,523 people are under treatment for the disease. International Day of Yoga will be observed worldwide on 21st of June. The theme for this year is Yoga for Well-being. The COVID pandemic continues to affect lives and livelihoods of people the world over. The importance of yoga in promoting holistic health of people is very relevant in such a time. Our correspondent takes a look at the role yoga plays during the times of pandemic.
During the pandemic, a growing trend has been witnessed where people embraced yoga to stay healthy. Practicing yoga also help people fight social isolation and depression. Certain yoga positions can help support, balance and boost the immune system. Several people started doing breathing exercises to keep lungs healthy. There is a widespread realization today that health is of foremost importance for everyone. Countries around the globe have recognized the potential benefits that humankind can enjoy by embracing yoga. With report of Suparna Sekya, Nitya Frankel, AIR News, Delhi.
The Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, yesterday said that the result of Class 10 and 12 board examinations, which were cancelled in the wake of the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, will be declared by the 20th and 31st of July, respectively. Speaking to a news agency, CBSE Examination Controller Sanyam Bhardwaj said the students who are not satisfied with their marks will be given a chance to reappear for the exams when the COVID-19 pandemic situation becomes conducive. He said the board will release the details later. He informed the CBSE will start online registration to know the exact number of applicants. In the first week of June, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the Education Ministry had decided to cancel the examination in the wake of the present COVID-19 situation in the country. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh yesterday dedicated 12 roads to the nation built by Border Roads Organisation in northern and eastern border areas. Chief Ministers of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, Union Ministers Kiren Rijiju and Dr. Jitendra Singh and Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat were among the dignitaries who attended the event virtually. The Defence Minister inaugurated a 20-kilometre-long double-lane Kimin-Potin road along with 9 other roads in Arunachal Pradesh and 1 each in the Union Territory of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. The roads are being constructed under Arunank, Bartak, Brahmank, Udayank, Himank and Sampat projects of the BRO.
India has called upon Pakistan to take appropriate steps to address the shortcomings in the ICJ Review and Reconsideration Bill 2020 and to comply with the judgments of the International Court of Justice in letter and spirit. The bill has been passed by the National Assembly of Pakistan. Briefing media, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said the bill codified into law the earlier ordinance with all its shortcomings. He said it does not create a machinery to facilitate effective review and reconsideration of Kulbhushan Jadhav's case as mandated by the International Court of Justice. The US Supreme Court has rejected a challenge by Republican-led states to former President Barack Obama's healthcare overhaul. Despite the court's conservative tilt, its 9 justices ruled by 7-2 that the challengers did not have legal standing to sue. It is the 3rd time since 2010 that the Affordable Care Act, ACA, known as Obamacare, has survived a challenge. The law gave millions of low-income Americans access to medical insurance. It bans insurers from denying coverage due to pre-existing conditions. The legal challenge from Texas and 17 other Republican-governed states had been backed by former President Donald Trump, who promised to have the act repealed when he was elected in 2016.
In Sports Roundup, All India Radio brings the latest news updates in national and international sports arena throughout the day. And with only 36 days to go for the beginning of India's Olympic quest at Tokyo Games, we put special focus on some of the promising Indian medal contenders. Today we profile India's ace men's boxer in the 69 kg weight category, Vikas Krishnan.
Born on 10th February 1992, Vikas is a veteran fighter with more than a decade's experience at the highest level. As a young person, he discovered the limelight in 2010 successful Junior World Championships gold and a bronze at the Youth Olympics earlier than clinching a senior stage gold at the Asian Games. Hailing from Hisar of Haryana, he added a bronze at the Senior World Championships in 2011 and represented India at the Olympics for the first time in London in 2012. Tokyo can be Vikas' third Summer Games, making him solely the second Indian male boxer to qualify for 3 Olympics after Vijender Singh.
बॉक्सिंग मेरे फादर की एक चॉइस थी, वो चाहते थे कि मैं स्ट्रॉन्ग बनूं, इसलिए उन्होंने मुझे बॉक्सिंग में डाला था 2001-2002 में। और जब मैं सोचने के लायक हुआ तो जब ये मेरा ड्रीम हो चुका था ताकि मैं कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करूं। सुबह शाम मेरे दिमाग में सिर्फ एक यही लाइन है, मुझे ओलंपिक जीतना है।
Vikas can be trying to hire his 2016 Rio Games efficiency of reaching the quarter ultimate and lastly clinch the elusive Olympic medal. Diksha Saxena for AIR News, Delhi.
In other sports news, in the Copa America 2021, Brazil crushed Peru 4-0 to win their second successive match. Brazil sealed a comfortable win and it was largely their game for most part of the contest. Alex Sandro gave the side a 1-0 lead early in the first half. The inaugural ICC World Test Championship WTC final between Team India and New Zealand will begin 30 minutes before the scheduled time in Southampton from today. The match was scheduled to begin at 3:30 p.m. IST, like all tests in England, but will now start at 3 p.m. IST. The Indian cricket team announced its playing 11 yesterday, naming both off-spinners Ravichandran and Ravindra Jadeja. India plays 5 bowlers. Seamer Jasprit Bumrah, Ishant Sharma and Mohammad Shami have been picked ahead of Umesh Yadav and Mohammad Siraj for the one-off test.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. The national capital Delhi will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature was 27 degrees and the maximum will go up to 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected to be around 30 degrees. Chennai will see a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will see a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees and the maximum will go up to 26 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 36 degrees. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The temperature will hover between 14 and 28 degrees Celsius. Leh will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum and maximum temperatures will vary between 13 and 25 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 16 and 32 degrees Celsius. And Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Slight rise in COVID count, active cases fall, writes the Asian Age. Maharashtra on Thursday began to gear itself for COVID-19 third wave, reports a Pioneer. Serum Institute of India could begin Covax trial on children in India in July, reports the Indian Express. WHO accepts expression of interest for Covaxin emergency use listing, writes the Times of India. Class 12 results to be arrived by considering marks in classes 10, 11 and unit tests, writes a Hindu. CBSE goes with 30-30-40 formula, headlines a Tribune. SCOK CBSE ICSE marks plan for class 12 results by July 31 is a headline in the Asian Age.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers today. Home Ministry operationalizes National Helpline for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad emphasizes government is not in favor of banning any digital social platform, but they have to follow the law. Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari says government aims to reduce road accident deaths by 50% by 2024. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan assures Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. Reserve Bank of India reiterates vaccination will shape the economic recovery of the country. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 95.93%. Over 26.86 crore COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. US Supreme Court rejects challenge by Republican-led states of former President Barack Obama's healthcare overhaul. In the Copa America 2021 soccer, Brazil thrashed Peru 4-0. And in cricket, India go with 5 bowlers in playing 11 against New Zealand in the inaugural World Test Championship final against New Zealand at Southampton today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.